I am very excited to have our guest with us today, and his name is...
John Tunnell.
Thank you. I was going to give you your other... I was going to say the other name, but that was really long.
Yeah,
so John, I like John Tunnell better. Yeah. It was Surefoot.
Son Elk Shepherd.
Son Elk Surefoot Shepherd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my birth name. Yeah, it's unusual.
Yeah, it's like a tongue twister.
It's not easy, right? Yeah. No, my parents were hippies, so... Yeah, I was. It was very flattering that you actually looked at my bio, but yeah. So I was conceived in India in the '70s, and then I was born over here. So. And
where are you based out of now?
Kennedale, which is DFW. It's like Arlington, Mansfield area. So I have a studio over there, Creative Studios. Got a green screen and cameras and I don't know, jib, dolly, sliders, microphones, lights, the whole thing. And I edit and do 3D animation, 2D animation, and all kinds of things.
What do you like about being a business owner?
Man, I could never not be a business owner again. I've been self-employed for 23 years, and the thought of like getting up every day and working for somebody else, being like, what do you want to do? Is just, ugh. So I love everything about being a business owner. I enjoy coming up with concept and then bringing it to life, right? Like that is exciting to me, to be able to go, ooh, that's a funny idea or a cool idea or whatever in the world. And then, to take that and write it and script it and get people together for that. And then to, every part of making a film, or not even film anymore, but making a video, to me is fun. I love to be able to tell a story well, which I'm not doing well right now. But I absolutely love it. And I love being able to just do that on my own terms.
Who are your ideal customers for Creative Studios?
Ideal as in who I would want to have as a customer. I would love to have a TV series of my own. I think that would be awesome. I would love to have like a HBO or a Showtime series. That would be amazing. I've got a concept for one. It's kind of like a modern day story of Job, but with like a Vanilla Sky Matrix kind of a twist, and he actually loses his reality and everything, which I think would make a great series. I would love to do that.
And what are some real life case studies or experiences from Creative Studios where to you it's like, you know what, yes, this is exactly why I'm called here for this purpose and I'm doing this Creative Studios endeavor?
As far as case studies, I don't know, but I mean, I feel like it's what I'm made to do, to be honest with you. Like, people that don't even know me are like, you should do comedy. I'm like, I do comedy. And they're like, you should make stuff. I'm like, I do make stuff. But I've had a lot of good reactions. I've got a book. You've obviously read that. And I've got just tons and tons of videos, lots of TV, lots of movies, cartoons, and all kinds of things. And I've gotten positive response on a lot of it, which is nice.
So what do you think drives your work ethic? Because, I mean, you work tirelessly. It doesn't matter what field it's in, whether it's been in construction or anything that involves manual labor. And even now, though, it's probably less manual labor compared to before. But
sure.
Still just as tiring.
Right. Well, I still flip houses. So, yeah, I flip houses. I do have a remodeling company. I do have a T-shirt company. I design T-shirts as well. Lots of video stuff. I act. And then I have the studio. So I do stay busy. What has made my work ethic? I was talking to somebody about that the other day, and I feel first of all, I don't drink, and I don't do drugs, and I don't smoke, right? So that really frees up a ton of time. I mean, it really does. If you take the amount of time that the average person spends doing those things, that is a significant amount of time and money and effort. So I've got a clear head, and I'm not blowing my money on what I consider to be frivolous, pointless things. And I don't have the addictions and things like that anymore, which is great. But I feel a calling to do it. I feel like if I don't do it, that I am not fulfilling my purpose in life. Right.
And of course, you've also spent a lot of time in the years past moving around. So what is it about Texas that you enjoy calling home base?
So I've lived in 22 states, and I went to 22 schools growing up, and then I dropped out in 10th grade. And I travel all the time still, right? So I travel around the world all the time. Texas, to be honest with you, the most important reason is that my kids live here, and I love my kids, and I want to be close to my kids. That's the primary reason. Secondary reasons, I mean, the Texas economy is great. The cost of living is almost nothing, right, compared to the rest of America.
Right.
And you can make a good living, and it would cost you almost nothing to live. So it affords me the pleasure of saving money and doing more with my resources. Yeah.
And you're also an actor too. So
Correct.
You're in this upcoming episode of Murder Made Me Famous.
I'm in several episodes of Murder Made Me Famous and Scandal.
So which characters have you played in what ranges have you played in these?
Well, so episodes? It's funny because normally I do funny stuff, right? And with Murder, they keep casting me as like a cop or detective, and I'm like, I'm not really fond of cops or detectives, but it seems to work out well, and so I keep doing it, right? They keep saying, well, you do this thing. I'm like, yeah, I'll do the thing. So part of being an actor is, if somebody says, you think you can play this part, then you dig deep in your soul and you go, can I? Yeah, I think I can do that, right? So I'm always grateful for every role I get, and I'm always, the people over there are great. AMS is a bunch of wonderful people, so I enjoy it a lot.
So if we had to have you to teach an acting class for non-actors, and you had to come up with, say, 3 key points for your students to walk away from, what do you think those 3 points might be?
I think tell your story well, right, with conviction. Whatever that might be. If you want to make people laugh, you make people laugh. And if you want to make people cry, you make people cry. But whatever it is, you tell your story and you tell it well. And you be real and you be vulnerable. And it's not so much about acting as just putting yourself in that person's shoes and think, how would I react if this was really happening to me? And then do that, right? It's not about, obviously you want to memorize your lines, right? Mm-hmm. Stay in character, and you want to imagine yourself like in the time period, in the situation, as that character. What would their background be? And, I draw that from life because I've known a lot of different people from around, and then you just think, how do I want to do this? And how can I do this in a creative way? That's probably not 3 points. I'm sorry. It's probably more than that.
But at least tell your story well.
I think tell your story well is the most important thing, right? Whatever it might be. Yeah.
Are you still a musician? You still write songs, play, perform?
I am a musician. Yeah, I play guitar. I've been playing guitar for 31 years now, and I play piano and I sing. I've got a couple CDs. And I love it. And I play a little bit of drums and stuff, but primarily guitar and piano and singing.
So with Creative Studios being more on the filming side, how much of that are you able to accommodate for musicians wanting to do recordings or something along those lines? I have
done a lot of music videos, a lot of live concerts. Garth Brooks, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, I got nominated for a bunch of Emmys on that. I think 6 Emmys on that one.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I got nominated for an Emmy on Red Line Drive for their music video for I'll Wait For You. So that was nice. And just, countless, like the amount of, I used to own a nightclub as well. Or a music venue, whatever, Dreamworld Music Complex. And so
I caught a show there once.
Did you really? What show was it?
It was the Phil Joel show with Earthsuit.
Yep. That was a good show. That was Phil Joel from the Newsboys. He was a nice guy. Yeah, it was a good show. That was 2001. Yep, 2001.
Small World. I had no idea you ran it. And they had Katie Hudson back then as the opener, who you may know as Katy Perry.
That was really Katy Perry?
That was Katy Perry.
That's crazy.
With blonde hair.
Yeah, that's crazy. I remember that. Wow. Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
It's a small world.
Yeah, well, I was talking to one guy, this is probably off topic, but a guy that used to work for me, and he was telling me about his friend. I don't know if I can name drop on here, but he said, yeah, man, I was in this band and whatever. I'm like, oh, man, I'm so happy for you. And he's like, yeah, As I Lay Dying, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard of them. And he's like, yeah, and then I was doing this project with him, and then he tried to have his wife murdered. I'm like, what the crap? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, wait, you know him? He helped build Dreamworld. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, Tim Lambesis. I'm like, I do know him. It was crazy, man. So, yeah, he helped me build Dreamworld. But it's a small world.
Yeah, so I hadn't, and so that was when I lived in Arlington briefly,
right.
And then I moved out of the city. So whatever happened to Dreamworld, and is there any more music venue in Arlington?
No, I don't think so. No, I had that for 4 years, from 2000 to 2004, and the police did not like me at all. And I had a neighbor that called the cops on me like 306 times a month for 4 straight years, and they wrote me about $30,000 in tickets. And eventually, I was like, I've had enough of this. I'm tired of being abused, and so I sold it. The people that bought it after 2.5 years couldn't make payments, and so I ended up getting it back. And then after 9 months, I sold it again, and then the people that got it, they eventually got foreclosed on. So it is now a mechanic shop.
Oh, no one? Because because that was like the only concert that I caught, and I always wanted to go back because ticket prices were affordable, everything was accessible, and
you could meet the artist every single time.
Every single time.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I liked about it.
Yeah, no, it was a good venue. I liked it a lot. I mean, I'm grateful for the time that I got to do that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing that. I mean, I had a great time. It's burned in my memory forever.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you've done your research.
I try. So what excites you about being at the SAG Awards tonight?
Man, you know what? Ronnie Hummel invited me, and she goes, "Hey, you want to go to the SAG Awards?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go. I'm not going to win anything. I'm not even a SAG actor." Everything I've done a lot of stuff, but I've never actually been SAG. I think I'm probably qualified by now, I'm sure. But it's just fun to network with people and, talk to people and stuff. And I get to get interviewed.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what the award ceremony is. I'm a horrible person. I stumble into things. I don't know.
Well, the important thing to know is that there's food.
Absolutely.
So
man, I mean, that's my first question. Where's the catering at?
Right.
Yeah.
So there's probably going to be a ton of young John Tunnells out there.
Oh, sure.
And so obviously we can't go back in time, but with this platform that you now have, if you could speak to someone that is a younger version of yourself, what would you say to them with the hindsight and experience that you have now?
That's a good question. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You're made for this. This is not that hard. You want to tell your story well. That's really what you want to do. Every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and that sounds really basic, and I think basics are very important in life, right? If you know your alphabet, if you know your numbers, that really helps you in life. If you can do basic math, that really helps you in life. Learn the tools and understand that really, in essence, you're just telling a story, and you need to tell that in a way that you deliver that message to people, and hopefully you touch them. Hopefully you touch them in a good way, right? I mean, I know everybody does different things, but I think it's important, whether or not we want to admit it, we are leaders and we are watched, and we set the pace for the way that a lot of people think. And so I think that we need to use that responsibility in a way that will have an eternal impact.
Well, John, what are your websites that people should know about?
JohnTunnell.com. So that's it's JohnTunnell.com. And then my YouTube is just my name. So you'll see it. It'll pop up. And I've got a bunch of funny videos. And then my Life After Meth thing is pretty good. I don't know if you saw that. But I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I think you'd enjoy it.
But also on your website, JohnTunnell.com, they can also learn about creative studios if they want to get information.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you want to, it's actually very affordable. So I've got the full green screen, white screen, hair, makeup, and wardrobe, everything, makeup, lights, blah, 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 blah. And it's $75 an hour, which is ridiculously reasonable. We can start to finish. I shot day before yesterday. We shot 27 videos and edited 27 videos in 2 days. So that was, and they're up. So
any hourly minimums?
No, I'm very reasonable. I want to help people out, right? I mean, I know what it's like, and I'm not trying to squeeze anybody. I'm not trying to get as rich as I can or anything like that. I want to help people out.
And also, for more on John Tunnell's life story, please check out his website, and it's got his book there.
Yep, A Wretch Like Me.
Well, John, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.